Okay, sorry guys, I was not showing my screen before, so let's back up and do this over again. So, hi everyone, welcome to the Dynamics 365 Tips and Tricks webinar brought to you by the Marks Group for the month of July. So today we're going to go through the following 3 tips. First, previewing upcoming features. We can access and kind of toggle any upcoming preview features from the system settings area. And then we're going to talk about pinning records, views, and entities for quick access. This is a little different in the new unified user interface than it used to be in the classic view, so we'll talk about that as well. And then finally, we're going to talk about integrating Teams with Dynamics. So, scooting back over to here, we're back in our Sales Hub area. I'm going to go over everything I just went over because you guys didn't see it. So we're going to click on the settings wheel here. Then we're going to click advanced settings to get back into that classic administration area. So we're going to click on the drop down next to settings and then go to administration. Then we're going to open up system settings. From here, we can access both the toggle that we need for Teams integration and our previews. So if we click on the previews tab, which is over all the way on the right-hand corner, there are a couple of different previews that you can access. So first, right now, at least the Organization Insights preview and Manual Sales Forecasting both can be previewed, these features. So you just have to accept the license terms and read these over, and then you can enable any previews that you see over here. So check the back in here every once in a while if you're interested in previewing any new features that they're rolling out. So to integrate Teams with Dynamics, though, we can select Microsoft Teams integration over in the General tab, and we can use this to enable some basic integration. We're going to select yes for this if you want to check this out in Teams as well. So once this is selected, yes, we can actually open up Teams, and then you would go to your team, add a tab, add Dynamics. It would ask you to sign in. We've already signed in this. So you can either select from the entity or the view. This says entity selection, but really, it really seems more like a record selection. As far as I can tell, you can't really navigate to different records, even though it does connect to an entity. So I'll show you what I mean here. So if we connect to this record, we can go to the website here. I'm just trying to see if I've been missing anything with the navigation here. But as you can see, we do have some scripting. I'm not surprised that that just showed up. So we see the record in question, but I don't see an option, and we can kind of, let's see if we can navigate. So we can kind of navigate within here, but I'm not sure how we can, if we click this X here, no. I'm just curious if we can kind of browse within a single entity, so browse within the account entity or something like that. But as far as I have been able to tell, it's not great for kind of navigating within here. But you can select or add another tab and add a view. We add My Active Accounts. This is going to bring us to our My Active Accounts view. And from here, we can select in here and open up Alpine Ski House. Okay, so we can open up or expand the My Active Accounts view by selecting this. Let's see, if we go back to Paul's, I just want to see if that little arrow exists on his record too. I don't think it will. No, okay. So if you want to kind of navigate within Dynamics in Teams, I would suggest using the view for that, for the tabs, and then selecting a view within the entity that you want. And that way you can and you can change the view from here, and you can navigate within records. It's just a little bit easier to navigate with the view tab instead of the record tab, so just keep that in mind. All right, so finally, the last quick tip today, we're going to talk about pinning records. So we're going to go back to our Sales Hub, and to pin any record in this unified interface, we just need to navigate to the record. It'll show up in our recent tab, which is here now. So you can expand the recent tab, and let's see, I want to pin the sample accounts and my active contacts. So as you saw, we just hover over the item we want to pin and then select the little thumbtack there. So if we expand the pinned tab here, we'll see the two items that we pinned. So we pin two views here. If we pin, we can pin a record as well. And I don't think it separates them. Yeah. So it'll just kind of, I don't love the organization of this. I liked it a little bit better in the classic view, but this is where they've got it now, and hopefully they'll add a little bit of organization to this in the future. All right, so thank you so much for joining today. Just a quick recap. We talked about enabling preview features back in the back-end area there in system settings. We also talked about enabling Dynamics 365 for Teams. And you'll notice after you do that and set it up in Teams, you'll notice this collaborate button. This is only going to be found in the unified user interface, however, not in the classic view. And then we also talked about pinning records, which is super easy. If you're in the unified interface, just open up the recent tab here on the left hand of the menu, and then pin items as needed. All right, thank you so much for joining. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions or want to review any steps here, you can access our blog. Each of the blog posts have pretty good walkthroughs of everything. If you have questions about the Microsoft Teams integration as well, there is a pretty good resource, a list of resources or a list of links in my blog post. I've just got a bunch of links to Microsoft articles. So just keep this in mind as well. All right, thanks so much for joining, and I will see you guys next time.